And a warm welcome to one and all. Now, across the weekend, I was asked a question. What does a day look like for me? And how do I help the Scruffy Squad? And it kind of got me thinking as to what are they after? Do they think that I do signals for them? Do they think that I sort of just sit drinking lots of coffee? Because let's be honest, I do, because we know Scruffy likes a coffee. And the little winker's not doing a job because, look, it's nearly empty. It's nearly empty, boys and girls.
You're about 4 already.
I need it to stay away. But really, what I'm doing all the time is homework. I start my day in and around between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on the day. Like Monday, I have a bit of a lie-in. Friday, I have a bit of a lie-in. Why is that? Well, it's because they are genuinely the worst days of the week to trade. Now, did a video which was touching on 1 minute charts and best days of the week, which came from sort of good economic studies. Now, these studies were from universities and brokers, and every single one of them said Monday morning was pretty bad to trade. Friday afternoon was bad to trade. Why is that? Well, on a Monday, you don't rightly know which way the market's going to go, and it's coming off the weekend, so it's just setting up. And then on a Friday, the market just slows right down. Now, I did get a comment saying I was wrong. So, of all the universities and all the studies over the last 60 odd years and my 20 years, yes, I was obviously wrong, because it said that sometimes it spikes up and then pulls back. I think what they're referring to is non-farm payroll. Now, that is the only time Friday becomes valid. And if you go through the channel, you'll see over the last 4 years, I've traded nearly every one of them, and successfully. I can count on one hand the ones that I've got wrong. Now, the thing with that is it's also incredibly dangerous, because in normal circumstances, Friday will tear you a new one, in the sense that if you're on the wrong side of it, it's a grinding way to get lost, because it doesn't move fast. It just grinds along, and it's horrid. Then if you're caught when the market closes, you've got to fight the weekend. In other words, you're prone to the gaps on Sunday night. The spreads are huge. And then you've got to take the uncertainty of Monday. So Friday is by far and away the worst day. So that's kind of why I have bits of lie-ins, because I take Fridays off. And on a Monday, I just want to see what's going on. Now, the next thing I do is I do my news, I do my markups, etc., etc. Now, I mark my charts once a week. I do my primary marks on a Sunday for a small basket that I look at every day. But when it comes to the guys that I look after, I'm constantly here. So we kind of start Monday. I mean, at the moment, I'm being a plumber's mate for Dan at the minute. Salute to you. Where's Lee at? Anyway, he's a heating engineer. He should be doing this. Anyway, yeah, we get in, we have a chat, a bit of a sing-song, and that's what we do in here. But I'm constantly trying to help. So I start my day with the market updates, where I'll do a video on the morning, and this is done between 7 and 8, and I do it every morning for every member of the squad. Tell them the strongest and weakest of the market, and I'll do a news date. And what that is this is what the date is, and this is the times the news is coming. I don't try and predict the news, because that's stupid. If I'm not in the room, I don't know the answer. All I need to know is when the time is coming, and then I can avoid it. So I'll give them a good heads up of that. This tells them the strength. I'll keep an eye on the ATRs so we can see if the market is increasing or contracting. We can see the strongest and the weakest, helps pick out a currency pair that you may choose. And then you can see the strength of it, whether it's increasing or decreasing, to see the movement. And then it has the various little bits that picks out. So I do that every day. Okay, so that takes me up. Come to around about 8 o'clock. I don't trade the opens, because that's silly. And if you look on here, it'll tell you what I trade. If it's below an ATR of 70, don't trade it. And do not trade 8 a.m. opens. Why is that? Because it's dangerous. You don't know which way the market's going to go, and inevitably the bigger boys will be looking to see what you think is going to happen, and they'll take the market the opposite way before, because you'll often see that on an open. It'll go the wrong way before it goes the right way, and that's because they're positioning themselves to get better pricing. Okay, now from here I come down into, I look at the scruffs every day, like doing this for Sparky today, where he wanted to look at the Aussie US. So I broke it down and told him what my thoughts are on that. So I get that done between sort of 8 and 9 when it's quiet. Then I'm looking in Tracker Plus, because this is a run on from bulls and bears. And if we go up here, there it is there. For Kevin, this week has asked me to track pound JPY and US JPY for a 10-15 pip trade pretty much each day. So I'm looking to get 15 pips out of the markets for him, and I'll carry that on. So yes, I'm going to do my best. So I've done the Aussie, and then that breakdown there is the start of what's going on, because I've already done the markup, which is here. And once we've got those markups in place, they're set. And then all I'll do is each hour, I'll track it till it comes to completion. And I'll do a full write-up of the trade idea as I'm coming into it. As you can see with these, I do it all the time. You know, so that's what I do. Then from there, it's basically just chitty chatty. You know, if they've only got small money, we'll go through. If I think they're over trading, I'll tell them, call it tough love if you like, because over trading is a big thing, and you need to iron that out. So it's not in a nasty way. It's in, look, calm down. Let's get you to where you need to be, but get there safely. That's what all these little chats are about. If you're into prop, again, there you are. Mitch, big salute to you, my kid. Another one who has passed the 5% challenge. The 5ers is the only prop I consider, because they're the only ones I trust. And I make certain that they get through. As you can see, another one passed. I did it myself because I do it with them, you know, and I go all the way. See, start to finish. I'll show them how it's done, and we can take this all the way. There's another one passed. Another one passed. Another one got paid. Fantastic. So this makes my day, and that's what I do. So everything I do is about homework and one thing and another. So there's a lot goes on behind the scenes, but at the moment I'm wanting the coffee behind the scenes, and that's not happening. Oi,
I'll go and get your coffee.
will you? Good girl, good girl. And then on top of that, not only getting my coffee, I then sit down one-on-one with the guys as well. So there we go. I've got Simon twice this week, where I'll actually sit and I'll go through the charts personally with them. So there's a lot going on, and my days are incredibly busy, and that's because I treat it like a job, and everything is time sectioned right the way through. And believe it or not, that's what makes you successful. Everything you do should be in the homework. And if you just think flicking on the screen and then looking at a 1 minute chart, you're going to be successful. Well, you could be, if you knew what you were looking for. But what is it actually telling you? It's not telling you a great deal. You know, my own personal style is I do multi-time trading. And what that means is I look from the very top all the way to the bottom, and I look for confluences all the way down. I don't look for micro movements in the market, because micro movements in the market are just noise, and when you catch it, it's more luck than good planning. Whereas if you do a top-down approach and you get a full understanding of what the market is, and that's what my bias tools and everything do. And for all I can do it in my head, the tools that I use, they're just notepads, so I can constantly see what the market is up to. Is it trying to push up? Is it trying to push down? Because that's the only options you've got. But be right at the right time. A 1 minute chart will whip around like a yo-yo, and you've got no idea whether it's going up or down if you're using only that chart and a 5 and a 15 to get a gauge. It's not sustainable over a long period of time. If you look at your hourlies and you work on a 3 candle principle, that will show you what's happening for the first half of the session. And if you look at it daily, that'll show you what the first half of the week is going to do, etc., etc. And that's it. Why? Because we deal in the future, but we get our information from the past. So you've got to be pretty choosy, shall we say, in what you look at. If you see too much noise, it doesn't predict anything. It actually muddies the water. So you need it smoothed out. And that's why the higher time frames are better. So that's essentially what I do throughout the day. And then as soon as I'm paid, I knock off and spend time with Joanne. And why? Well, why not? You know, have a few hours break, and then case in point tonight, I'll be live with them. I'm live with the guys in the squad every single day. And it's alternative, so that every time frame can sort of get a, well, how do I put this? Doesn't matter what time zone you're in, you'll be able to come into a live session, because I do one at 8 o'clock on a night, and then the next one is 8:30 in the morning. And then that way you've got best of both worlds for those who work or those that are in a different time zone. And that's it. So that's what I do on a daily basis. I hope that kind of answers. And I'm at the charts pretty much 6 days a week. Even on a weekend, I mightn't be trading, but I am preparing when I've got a little bit of time. And preparation will get you through this. Hope that helps. Catch you soon.